You never know when you're going to have a wardrobe malfunction. Isn't that also an emergency, right? Putting everything I just said at the back of your mind, a basic first aid kit should have plasters. You'd use your plasters to cover up like little wounds. So you need bandages of different sizes and shapes. Like I said earlier, why bandages important? Bandages are important so as to prevent your clothes from rubbing against your wound and also keeping it dry. You also need an antiseptic to keep your wound clean and to prevent infection. Safety pins. You never know when you're going to have a wardrobe malfunction. Isn't that also an emergency, right? And you also need it to keep your bandages in place. And then you've also got the scissors to cut up your plasters, your bandages, to open up the items if you, because it's an emergency situation and your hands might be shaking and stuff. So you just use the scissors, and since it's sterile, like it's not your kitchen scissors or those things, or the scissors you use when you're cutting up something random in your house. Like these things need to be sterile, so just have one in your first aid kit. Tweezers. You need your tweezers for your eyebrow girlies. And then also you could get a splinter, like you know when those things get into your finger or your hands, like you never know, you use it to like get it out. And if you see that you cannot, before pushing it in further, please go to the emergency department, please. You also need disposable gloves as well as sterile gloves, because when it comes to like the body, you need to keep everything as sterile as possible to prevent infections, guys. So please try not to use your bare hands when you're handling things that have to do with like blood, body fluid. Like please just try to, like with COVID, I think most people have been like very careful and they've learned to like take things into consideration. So I think in everybody's homes right now we have like gloves and antiseptics and those things. So please don't forget to make use of these things, and don't just keep them lying around. Like please put some in your emergency kit so you don't freak out and panic and then forget like where you've placed all of these things. Distilled water to help you like clean wounds. And yeah, so you might feel like you got water at home. What if when you have an emergency, that's when you don't have water in your house? Think about it, right? We don't want to be unfortunate, right? So please keep some distilled water somewhere. You might need it in an emergency situation. The first aid tape is to secure dressings and bandages. That's to keep them in place, like the safety pins. So if you do not have safety pins, you can also use the tapes. A thermometer, guys. You cannot always do this, and if you've got babies and children, it's a must. You need to have a thermometer. It might not be important to you knowing the temperature, knowing the exact body temperature, but the doctor needs to know what you measured. Like it helps the doctor determine the cause of the fever. As you can see, I do not have a thermometer. I'm such a bad example, but that's not an excuse for you not to have one. You need it. Like I said, if you have kids, it's a must. Painkillers. Headaches, backaches, menstrual pain. This is a must for everyone. And if you have kids, I don't even need to tell you. You know you need your paracetamol, right? So please stock up. You've also got antihistaminic creams and tablets. For those of you that are prone to getting allergies, like this is something you need to take around with you in your bag. Like emergencies, you never know what you're going to be allergic to outside, and there might be no one to help you. And in this instance, like if you've actually gone for your allergy test and you know like you're not supposed to be taking, let's say, peanuts or strawberries or those things, you also need to move around with your EpiPen, like epinephrine, because you'd go outside and have like an allergic reaction and no one would have that around you. Like you do not need to take any chances. Like you need anti-diarrhea medications. I already showed you my Flagyl. You need Laxate sedatives for when you have constipation, you need cough and cold medication. And don't forget your personal medication. Some people have diabetes, some people have chronic kidney diseases. Like whatever you've got, like if you need to have your own personal medication, please don't forget to also keep that in your first aid kit. If you have the tendency of getting nosebleeds, you might also be needing cold packs. So you put the cold packs in them and leave them on for a while. It helps to like constrict the vessels and stop the bleeding. And if you see that this is not working, like you have to take yourself to the emergency department. And also, as time goes by, you might notice that you've never had a need to ever use your first aid kit. That doesn't mean you shouldn't go back to check it out. Some of the drugs might be expiring, some of the items you put them might be expiring, so you need to check them to make sure things are up to date. And if they are not, please throw them out and restock. I beg, don't use things that are expired. I hope we get it. So how do you assemble your first aid kit? Like me, I got that one together. It's incomplete, as you can see, so I need to complete it. I feel like if you go to your drugstores, you could probably get them as one and you don't need to assemble it all yourself. But please find out, make that a priority. And if you've also got children, as long as they're old enough to understand, please show them where they can find these things, because you might not be home all the time in situations like this, so they should be able to like take care of themselves. And if there's an adult watching over them, please also make that person aware of where to find the first aid kit, so they don't have to wait on you and panic. I hope with this video of mine you've been able to learn a few things and you'll be running over to your drugstore to get your first aid kits. Please do not be like me. Don't be careless and insufficient. We need to be effective this year. From this year, we're making our health a priority. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like this video. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.